Hey y'all, what's going on? Pavel with DIT Media here, and today we're going to be talking about how you can make your videos look better with the proper use of lighting. Lighting is one of my favorite topics, but it also happens to be one of the most complex ones. So I'm not going to go into all details about it. I'm not going to talk about Fresnel lighting, LED lighting, HMI lighting. I'm not going to talk about different lighting modifiers such as flags and chimeras and gels. I'm also not even going to talk about the Kelvin scale and what that means in this tutorial. All of those things deserve their own in-depth videos that I will make in the future, so stay tuned for that. But this video is aimed at those who perhaps don't know a lot about lighting or who want to get better at lighting, or for people who think that they probably can learn something new. In this video, I'm going to cover things like lighting theory, lighting ratios, and most importantly, how do you actually light a person so that it looks good and professional on camera. Or how do you light yourself if you're producing videos for YouTube just like I am. For those of you who never even thought about lighting when you're watching films or videos on YouTube, you can go ahead and watch films like the new Blade Runner that just came out, 2049, that is shot in a noir style and utilizes a very beautiful special lighting technique. You can watch noir films that utilize a 4:1 lighting ratio and are very dramatic in its applications. You can watch pretty much any of the greatest films and you will see how directors, DPs, and gaffers utilize lighting in order to achieve a particular dramatic effect. So let's take a break from Hollywood for a minute and just talk about how you can actually utilize techniques that are even used in Hollywood and light your videos so that they will look much better and more professional. So let's start with a little bit of a lighting theory. So the most common lighting system that is utilized in video and photo production is called the three-point lighting system. What does a three-point lighting system mean? It literally means that you are utilizing three lights in order to light your subject or a scene. The first light is going to be your key light. I'm going to use this video as an example and walk you through the three-point lighting system and how I utilize it to light myself. The first light that I'm going to talk about is the key light. The key light in my case is the light that is lighting this half of my face. And in my scenario here, it ends up being just literally an overhead light that is in the room. I utilize that light even though I could light myself with another light and put it on a stand and do all that. But that light does not only light me, it also lights a background, it lights everything around me, and I don't have to flip it on and off. So it's more of a convenience technique that I use here. However, in an interview scenario or in a bunch of other scenarios, I would use a dedicated light to use as a key light. The second light is going to be called a fill light. A fill light is located on this side of my face and it does two things. It fills in this half of my face so that I can have the 2:1 lighting ratio, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, and it also gives me a catch light in my eyes. Catch light is an extremely important feature when you are lighting a person. A catch light is a tiny little glimmer in the eyes that is produced by the reflection of the light, and it creates energy and life in the picture that you are watching. If you ever watched a video and you thought that something was missing, it probably was a catch light, because if the video does not have a catch light, the person does not look alive and does not look energetic, and that can turn somebody off from watching your video. So make sure you have a fill light that creates that catch light in your eyes or somebody else's. So now let's talk about the third light, and the third light in my case is a backlight. Backlight provides a very important function. It separates the person, in this case myself, from the background, which is this red thing right behind me. It is very important to have a backlight, because without a backlight, a person will blend with the background and your video or photo will not have dimension to it, and that is very, very important when you are producing your piece. So now let's put it all together. You have a key light, fill light, and a backlight. That is why this is called a three-point lighting system. It lights a person in a way that they look alive, energetic, and separated from the background. Those three things is what makes or breaks your video, and all of them are done with lighting. So if you want to make your videos look much better, make sure you light yourself or your subject properly. And I just want to mention something right off the bat. You don't have to buy professional lights all the way at the beginning. You don't have to spend thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to have the tools that professional DPs in Hollywood use, because simply there's no point behind it for you. You can use very simple, even household appliances to achieve the same effect. For example, when I started out, I didn't have that much money. Some of the lights that I used in the beginning for my personal videos were lights like this. Simple household lamp that you can put somewhere, and some of them come with a clamp at the bottom, and you can honestly use the clamp and clamp it to something and angle it and light your subject, and that can be your fill light or your key light, for example. So you don't have to spend that much money. You don't have to have all the fancy tools. All of that stuff can come later. In the very beginning, the most important thing is an idea. And if you have an idea, you can find the tools that are right for you around you to achieve the lighting that you want. Also, I want to point out that if you have a friend who is in the business, or if you know somebody who does that kind of stuff, ask them for help in the very beginning. That's totally cool and that's totally okay. I love helping people around me who ask me for help, if I have time, obviously. But it is so important, if you have an idea, to fulfill that idea and not get hung up on just the fact that you don't have certain gear or you don't have a certain piece of expensive lighting. You don't have to have that. Just throw all of that out the window, have an idea, write your script if you want to be a script writer and a director, and go do it, and go look for people who can help you along the way. That is the most important idea. So now, after we've covered the 3-point lighting system, let's talk about lighting ratio and what does that mean. Lighting ratio is literally a relationship between how much light falls on this side of the face versus this side of the face. And again, it all can be flipped and flopped. So if you have your key on this side, your fill is going to be here. You can also have your key here and your fill here. It just depends on the situation, and it depends on how are you lighting your person. So the lighting ratio that is commonly used is a 2-to-1 ratio. What does that mean though? It means that the amount of light on the key side is going to be twice the amount of light on the fill side. So let's put all of that to numbers. Let's say you're using one of those lights that have a knob on them and that tells you like 0 to 10 intensity or 0 to 100% intensity. So let's say my key is going to be at 100%. That means that my fill has to be at 50% if I want to achieve a lighting ratio of 2-to-1. And it goes from there. So if your key is going to be at 50%, then your fill is probably have to be at 25%. That way, mathematically speaking, you're going to have a 2-to-1 ratio. But what if you were lighting with something, as I said before, like a DIY light or a lamp or something like that? How do you determine the ratio then? Well, then you just have to practice and look at the lighting relationship on the person's face that you are lighting, or on your face if you're taping yourself in your room making YouTube videos like I am. You have to decide, is that a 2-to-1 ratio? Is the amount of light on my fill side half of what is the amount of light on my right side, etc. There are, of course, other lighting ratios. There's, for example, a 4-to-1 ratio, which I love personally because my favorite film style is film noir. And film noir is all about contrast and intensity and dramatization of events. And lighting in 4-to-1 ratio, or even more than that, 5-to-1 ratio, means that the key light is really bright and the fill light is very dim or even non-existent at all. So that way you really create a very dramatic effect in the film or in your video. The reason why I don't use such a lighting system when I'm taping these videos is because there is no reason for creating a dramatic effect. But if I were shooting a film noir, I absolutely would. And I utilize 4-to-1 ratio quite often when I'm shooting still photographs, because that is something that I like doing and that is something that just is my thing. But the classic ratio is 2-to-1 ratio. Now, another most important thing that I want to cover in this video, and that is something that I've been asked many times by people who start playing with lighting and figuring out how they want to light, is they always ask me, man, how do I get rid of those shadows? And that is a very important question. If you light somebody, there's gonna be a shadow, because that is simply how physics works. If you look at, if you walk outside during a sunny day, then you're gonna see your shadow on the grass or on the floor or on the road or whatever. It's the same thing when you are lighting somebody. So how do you get rid of that shadow in the background, which, as if you notice, I don't have, And the reason I don't have it is because I utilize a very simple amount of techniques that minimizes or completely obliterates that shadow. The first way you can get rid of the shadows on your background is raise your light. The reason why you must raise your light, because if you are lit from below, your shadow is gonna rise and it's gonna be all over the wall. But if you raise the light, then the shadow is gonna fall in the background. Which brings me to the second technique that I use, is moving your light right or left. If you raise the light and the shadow is still there, it's kind of low, it's kind of right here, you can move your light, which will perpetually move the shadow even further out of the frame. And as long as the shadow is out of the frame, it can be still there, but as long as it's out of the frame, you are set to go. And the other important aspect for removing a shadow from the wall behind you is you need to move the person away from the background. What I see so often, especially when people photograph people at events near like a corporate backdrop or something like that, they stand right in front of the background, and what do I see all the time is a giant shadow behind them that does not look good or does not look professional on the video or photo work that you do. So move the person away from the background. I would say probably, I prefer to do about 3-4 feet if you can afford to do that, but at least a couple of feet away from the background, because that will help you in eliminating that shadow by raising and moving the light, because the shadow will have about 2, 3, 4 feet of space to fall on the floor and crawl out of the frame, which will benefit you immensely. So remember, move the person away from the background about 3 to 4 feet, raise your light and move your light, and see and look on your frame to determine when that shadow is finally out of the frame. So again, y'all, as I said, this is just a very basic, very brief overview of lighting. Lighting is so complex that I probably personally don't know 80% of it, maybe even 90% of it, because I'm not a gaffer. A person who is responsible for lighting, usually on a big film set, is called a gaffer. That is the term that is utilized by the film industry. I'm not a gaffer. All I've shared with you is just the personal information that I've received and I've utilized in my past and my productions, and I utilize in this video, as you can see, because I used it as an example. There is tons of other videos online and particularly on YouTube that go way deeper and discuss lighting in much bigger, much more detailed manner. That is not something that I wanted to do in this video. I wanted to basically break up lighting into several different videos based by topic. I will be making a video in the future about different types of lights and different types of lighting modifiers that you can use to achieve a particular lighting effect. But I don't want to cram it all into one video because number one, I believe that's just way too much information. And number two, I believe in the progression of knowledge. You gotta know the basics before you can move to something else. So I hope that all of the basics that I've covered in this video, including lighting ratio, a little bit of a lighting theory, which includes 3-point lighting system, and just a tiny little tip on how to get rid of the shadows on the background, I hope that that helps you. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. And remember to subscribe to this channel and let me know what you want me to cover next time. If you have any questions about video or photo or lighting or anything related to any of those topics, leave those comments in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.